Yo, you guys are fast. I mean, like, you guys are really fast. I mean, I wasn't even over here yet, and there's people in the chat. That's crazy. But I do appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. But you guys are fucking fast, man. Jeez. Anyway, yo, if you guys, I mean, some of you guys go to Walmart, you see some of the animals that hang at Walmart, you're like, yo, why is that alive? Like, have you ever seen a human being that shouldn't be alive? Because you're like, that is physically impossible. That goes against every physics, what, like, anatomy. You're like, what is that? Is that a human? Is that a thing? And you always see those things at Walmart, right? You always see those creatures like creaching around and shit, looking for candy and diapers. You're like, what the fuck's going on? You know? You don't see a lot of that here. You just see a lot of fucking, loose fit clothing on fucking either too young girls or too old. There's never like the 40 or 30-year old, in a thong bikini. It's always the fucking, the underage or the fucking overage. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Ladies, if you're 60, put on a onesie. All right, they make swimsuit onesies. Wear a swimsuit onesie and fucking call it a day. Why are you wearing? Ugh, I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, so guys, with that being said, thank you for the 5x5 Cat Girl, Joe FW, Lisa. Thank you for the 5x5. So, the question, guys, is what will you sacrifice? That is the big question for tonight on the Angry Truth channel. I asked this question, what will you sacrifice? Because we are seeing the same pattern of nonsense pop up again. I am seeing the talk of a new arm ticket. In fact, guys, they're giving us variety now, right? They're not just giving us one arm ticket. They're giving us a variety of arm tickets to choose from. So you have the mRNA, you have the regular cultured one, and then you have a patch and a spray. I think it's a nasal spray, if I'm not mistaken, coming out for the fever frenzy, feather fever, sorry. The feather fever, that's a mouthful. The feather fever pandemic, right? It's on the way, or bird flu. Now, you see this nonsense headed this way. You're seeing the same talk. You see people getting nervous and asking questions as to how am I going to protect myself and my family. Already, this again, guys, identical to what we saw during Mr. 19 event, right? So while we're seeing all of that, right? While we're seeing all of this going on, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because it looks like we might have to be making sacrifices yet again. I think these sacrifices are going to be a little more harsh. They're going to be a lot worse than it were before. But we saw a lot of people, guys, sacrifice a lot during the last event, right? The Mr. 19 event. We saw a lot of people sacrifice then. We saw people, guys, give up jobs. We saw people give up on family members. We saw people get divorced over this shit. Divorced over the COVID event. We saw people lose friendships. We saw family members step away from one another. And we're talking about long-time friendships, not like, you met somebody 5 years ago and they were your friend. We're talking about like childhood friendships, right? Meaningful shit, meaningful connections with family members, not like your cousin, because who gives a shit about your cousin, right? That's the kind of shit we saw, and we saw people make that sacrifice. Now, I know that some people didn't make the sacrifice. The other person cut the relationship off, right? The person who was for the arm ticket, the person who believed in Fauci. Those are the people who cut the lines, actually. But are you willing to do the same or accept it if it happens again? I know a lot of you accepted it before, but are you willing to do so? Now, yes, there is a lot of do not complies. A lot of us who are a lot more comfortable now can absolutely do it without batting an eyelash. I mean, like, I did it already, and I saw how it was. I didn't like it, but I was able to survive. I could do it again. And I know one guy I spoke to at my job, he goes, I got a lot more saved in my bank account. He goes, if they push this nonsense with the feather fever, he goes, I'm out. I go, really, dude? You're gonna vest out? He says, I won't even vest out. I'll just leave. But he says, I got enough money to find something else. So a couple guys are angling and seeing this coming up, and they're saving because they're saving. They're not saving because of, what could be happening or what's coming down the pike. But one guy said that. Another guy said, he goes, listen, I'm gonna have to fucking quit or fight, tooth and nail. I was like, all right. I mean, a lot of guys were sacrificing a lot of shit. And will we do that again? Now, will you quit or get fired? Right? What would you do? Would you quit and be like, you know what? I'm not going to wait for you to fire me? Or would you fight it out until you got fired? Because essentially that's what happened to a lot of people. A lot of people stayed until they got fired. Now, I think that's probably bad on your record, so it's probably better for you to quit. But what would you do, right? Um, would you walk away from money? If they asked you to stay on, take this arm ticket, but if you take this arm ticket, we'll put $1,000 extra in your check for that week, right? Or we'll give you $200 extra a week for 5 weeks, which is $1,000. Because if they do it that way, it sounds more appealing to people, right? So would you fall for the trickery? Would you fall for the, hey, free cheeseburger and french fries and Metro card, or would you bounce? Now, again, I know a lot of you guys would bounce because a lot of you guys are like me, see through the bullshit and don't waver in the bullshit and would be like, you know what, fuck this, we're out, right? But if you are in a financially tough spot, guys, this is where it matters and this is where it counts. If you are in a financially tough spot, will you take the arm ticket to keep your job? A lot of people told me during Mr. 19 that they had to, and they didn't have to, they were scared. But being at the financial situation that this world is in and everybody's struggling, would you walk away from your job? Especially if your job is paying you, 200-300 grand a year. Right now, there are fire jobs and EMS jobs that are above that, right? I mean, I work a minimal amount of overtime. I'm making over 200, but I'm willing to walk away from that. Adriana said I'd walk away from that. Joanne said I'm willing to be out in the streets. The next move is Antarctica. Yeah, listen. Well, listen, guys. I know that a lot of states are they're not gonna buy the feather fever stunts, and even if they do, they'll offer the on ticket, but they won't force it upon us, right? Certain states, but I think states like New York, they're gonna force it upon you and lose your job. Now, I think there are more people who would stand their ground. There are more people who would push back. So that should be an interesting fight to see. I think we would definitely see an interesting battle. Right, we would definitely see an interesting battle on this. Because there are people who felt lied to. They're upset that they were lied to. They were upset that they were lied to and had to take something that didn't work. A lot of people are pissed off about that. Right? But I don't know. What are you guys ready to do? It's all relative. And the craziness, guys, is that I talk to people, people I know personally, right? And a lot of people are coming down with ailments now, right? And more people are coming down with ailments. And like I said before, guys, we haven't hit the 5-year mark. We haven't hit the 10-year mark. You got people, every day, guys, I'm in the news, there's some kind of influencer or some famous person dying suddenly, out of nowhere, The newscaster guy that spoke with, whatever his name is, the Muslim dude, right? And that Muslim guy was like, yo, if I see you, I got to put that video on Rumble, by the way. I have the full video on Rumble coming out probably tomorrow, if I can get it uploaded here. Right? And he talks to the guy, and he's like, yo, we'll see you in 3 years. He says, I'll be glad to talk to you in 3 years. After saying, you think I have I have an expiration date? But he didn't say it in that way. And the guy goes, we'll see. I'll talk to you in 3 years. And the guy died a year later. And though he had cancer back in 2013 and went into remission, it popped up suddenly. But no one was really talking about it, No one's really talking about it. I should have bought my chair out, man. I had my my beach chair in the car. Should have sat in that instead of sitting on the ground like a fucking asshole. Anyway. And my little portable table for that matter. these people here in their boat, rich folks. Like we're not rich. It's nice to have a boat. I don't want a boat. I don't ever want a boat. I don't want the responsibility of a boat. I do not care for a boat. That is not something I'm looking out to. So, guys, question to you. Will you cut off friendships with your friends again? Especially your friend who cut you off, realized that you were right, called you up, befriended you again, and now is looking back, and now is starting the same bullshit with believing in this arm ticket. All right. I'm going to get up since this is starting to die off. Give me a second. Hopefully you guys can see the difference. It's moving now. All right. Falcon's like, nope, no second chances. I hear you. I couldn't get that pissed off with people like that because I understood that here's the rub, guys. People are stupid. You got to realize that. You got to realize we're dealing with morons, right? So only in this neighborhood, guys, could you leave your car window open, right? Keys in the car. Only here could you do that. But the beach bike thing too. I don't know what it is with the beach bikes. Like, why is that such a popular to do? But anyway. So yeah, I mean, are you willing to cut off family members, right? Are you? Hey, here's a bigger question, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a bigger question: will you get divorced, or let your wife or your husband divorce you over this? That's a good question because I know one lady divorced her husband because of this nonsense. Right? She wound up divorcing. That's all right, man. It's cool. She wound up divorcing her husband over the shit because he wouldn't take the arm ticket. I seen wives take their husbands to court because they didn't want to give the kid the arm ticket. Imagine, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I had to go to court because you were gonna give my son the arm ticket and he had some kind of medical issue after that, I'm punching you in the fucking throat. You're gonna get throat punched so hard, forget it. Talk about a collapsed jaw and throat. I mean, there's no reason for it, But anyway, would you allow that? I didn't know you had I don't have a TikTok channel. I'm not even on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok app. I don't have any of that. Now, if somebody has the Angry Prepper on TikTok, I mean, that's okay. But I also have the Angry Prepper, copywritten. So it's fine. They can keep it up if that's what you're saying. This is Wildwood, New Jersey. This is Wildwood Crest. I'm sorry. Because God forbid you call all of this Wildwood. They get mad. This is Wildwood Crest. Down there is Diamond Beach. Diamond Beach used to be part of Wildwood Crest. From my understanding of the story, Diamond Beach broke up from Wildwood Crest because Wildwood Crest is a dry town. Being that Wildwood Crest is a dry town, they split off and started Diamond Beach. Imagine, guys, people were like, yo, we want to drink. Fuck that. We're going to succeed from Wildwood Crest and make Diamond Beach. That was one of the stories I heard. I hope that's not true. Because if that is true, guys, that means people who wanted to drink really badly broke away from a town to create another town. And we can't even do that here in the United States with taxes and shit. That's the craziness of the whole thing. We can't even be on the same page with that. that was frustrating to hear that story. And I'm like, wait a minute, that can't be true. They could not. I mean, there might have been other reasons as well. But nonetheless, they had their own police department. I saw Diamond Police. I saw Diamond Beach Police. I was like, what? It's fucking crazy. Then there's the Wildwood Crest Police. Then there's Wildwood, and then there's North Wildwood. North Wildwood is all the way on the other side, probably about 5 miles down that road, maybe 3 miles down that way. So, one shot, one kill. What are you talking about? The Angry Town, where everybody punches. Well, yeah, I'm on a. So this is like a. I am on a peninsula, actually, right? So on the other side of here, 5 minute walk maybe, 5 minute walk straight down there is the Atlantic Ocean, right? And this is, I guess, a jetty, right over here. And so, yeah, I'm on a thin peninsula. It's a probably a 4 or 5 block walk down that way, and then the beach is like a quarter mile from the street to the ocean. So I'm gonna say maybe half a mile wide. It's not a mile wide. I don't think so. You know what? Maybe it is. Maybe it is a mile. It's a mile wide. Well, we're gonna go off the air in a couple minutes. Oh, okay. Yes, this is Jersey Shore. This is Wildwood Crest. I should put it in the title so maybe people will see that and I have to stop explaining myself 1,000 times in a video. I am in Wildwood Crest, New Jersey. And I know some of you are going to say you move around a lot. You're always somewhere different. Very true. That is true. But for those that are interested, by the way, I'm going to mention now, I'm going to have a more formal, more information on it a little later. Kentucky Sustainable Living is doing another event again in October. He gave me the dates, but like an asshole, I forgot. But he's going to give me the dates again, and I'm going to start mentioning a little more. I'm also doing the, I think it's the SEO, right there. Shit, I forgot the name of that thing. I'm doing another speaking engagement in October as well. So hopefully you guys turn out to that. It'd be cool. And if you don't, that's fine. I think, yes, it is a great meetup. And like I said, listen, guys, I get a kick out of that shit. I get a kick out of leaving New York City and meeting people who I want to be like, believe it or not. You guys have homesteads and shit. I don't have a fucking homestead. I'm not on, I don't have a homestead or anything like that. So I look up to that kind of shit. I don't, I hate the city life. I hate that bullshit. I hate the city life. I want to live on the land. I want to be on my own, and you guys do that. And I look up to you guys for that shit. As far as wilderness survival and city survival, I can pretty much nail that shit. But trying to grow my own whatever, I can't nail that. All right, so I'm going to take a slow walk back to the car. Not that fucking slow. We're going to end the live stream in 20 minutes. And I'm going to go back to the hotel. Like I said, Friday I should have a double live stream unless it rains or gets out of control. And if it does, I might not. Who knows? Listen, it seems like I'm looking for an excuse not to do fucking live streams this week. I might not. I might. Who knows? I'll surprise you. I won't surprise you. But if I have a live stream, hopefully you guys join me. If not, it is what it is. Hopefully they ain't steal my shit. They ain't steal anything. See, like here, you can leave your car open and no one will steal anything. In New York, you just fucking leave the window cracked open and there's a crackhead sitting in your shit. All right, so go figure. Oh, one shot, one kill. I already visualized what I want. Like I said, I'm already open to Tennessee and certain spots in Oklahoma. So it's going to happen. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for dealing my bullshit. I will see a lot of you guys Friday night for a doubleheader, possibly, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.